Something that I used to talk about that I don't really talk about anymore, but I should definitely resume talking about, is how I ended up in Cleveland, Ohio shortly after Tamir Rice happened. And I don't mean that in terms of how I moved to Minnesota shortly after Philando Castile happened, because they were protesting Philando Castile for a long time. And I was still here. I moved here during the protests, but I think it was a while, because I moved here in March, and Philando Castile happened during summer. So I moved here that spring after Philando Castile happened, and they were still protesting him. So when I say I moved to Cleveland, Ohio, shortly after, they hadn't had the trial for Tamir Rice when I got to Cleveland. And the vibe was hostile as fuck. The police were already tyrannical, but, the public opinion was against the police. So whatever they were already on, it was on steroids. I recall a conversation with a bus driver where the bus driver was talking about how he was sitting on the tram, and the police told everybody to get off of out of the car. And he just continued to sit there. Obviously, he's an employee, he still has his uniform on and whatnot. And the police, yelled at him to get off. And he's like, I obviously fucking work here. What the fuck? And I don't know if things are different now, but the women's shelter that I stayed in, the security for that shelter, just off to the side of downtown Cleveland, actually headed towards Cleveland's Asia Town, was the security was the Cleveland police. They had and most of the homeless population is black. There's a lot of black people in Cleveland. Most of the homeless population is black. The fucking Cleveland police. This is why I should definitely continue to talk about this, because in some places, the security for the homeless shelters, if they even have a homeless shelter, is the fucking police. So, tensions were still high. The murderous state-sanctioned gang that is called the Cleveland Police Department, just like any other police department, is supposed to be put in charge of the safety of the most marginalized folks. After murdering a child who was a part of a marginalized group. And I don't know, I really don't have a conclusive statement for that kind of thing. I'm just saying, it would be a good idea for me to talk about how I ended up in certain places when certain events took place, because those things are significant, and you really don't know the vibe of a place if you aren't there to experience it yourself. Ohio was already in really bad shape, and things have only gotten worse for Ohio. And it might be hard for you to believe that things can get worse for Ohio after Tamir Rice, but based on what I've been seeing, especially with the whole thing with J.D. Vance and Vivek Ramaswamy, Ohio has definitely gotten worse. So, shout out to Ohio, I guess.